I'm in a funk.
I'm pretty crunk.
And I'm a drunk. And welcome to Lip Sync Video Review with me, Mikey, with my usual co-host Blake, and our special guest this week is the one and only Agent.
Hello.
We're really enthusiastic this week about funk, despite being, I'll speak for myself, whiter than white, and Blake, I'll speak for Blake too. Blake's pretty white.
Okay, we didn't have to insult me. Thank you. Um, yeah, it's Funk Week. And I'm so glad that we're actually finally doing this theme because, as Mikey oh so gently put it, I'm whiter than white as well. And I know nothing about funk, but I actually learned shit about funk. And Asian is not whiter than white, and I hope he actually knows things about funk. So maybe we'll actually offer critique? I don't know. Is that what we normally do?
I mean, we might not know the music, but we know lip syncing. So let's get into it.
Let's get right into it with our first contestant.
First up, we have the incomparable Gissy with Pussy Control. For me, any video that's age restricted and makes me sign into YouTube to watch already has my attention. I think this is a fantastic concept for the song. The overlay this time was perfect. The lip sync itself, as usual, was excellent. There were a lot of good funk vibes. The frame was going to be my one big critique. I think that it limited some movement that would have been great, especially in the parts where you were grooving with the riding prop. I think that if you just had the camera back a tiny, tiny bit more so that we could watch you completely groove, it would have added to it. And the other thing, just be careful losing the note when you're sustaining, and occasionally your mouth is a little bit small for some of the mouth shapes, but other than that, I really enjoyed this. This is a great way to kick off the week, and it's a toot for me.
Ava, who I will not call Jissy, really delivered a great video this week. I thought the concept was fun. I thought, just like Mikey said, the sync was pretty well done. And it was really good to see you have fun for the first time this season because the first one, your audition was really good, but your video last week was a little off, and this you just came back with a fury, and I was really happy to see it. I also would give this a 2.
Yeah, you know full well I did not like your video last week, but I'm very, very, very happy to say that I adored this video this week. I mean, like, you were clearly having so much fun. I think the concept was hysterical with you, like, being the slutty teacher, like, Harper is quaking. Sean is quaking as well, but for different reasons. I really liked this video. I think Mikey hit the nail on the head for me with the sync, in that I wish you kind of, like, opened your mouth just a little bit more. That really was my big problem. And I just want to throw out there that I think it was genius for you to take the comedy route on this video, because you're not a dancer and you're also not a dancer. Like, we know that, you know that. And funk, the first thing that people think of when they hear funk is dancing. So for you to not do that and for you to play to your own strengths, which is comedy, I think that was genius. So yeah, this is a really easy toot for me.
Next up is Lala Shate, not Shat. And I have to say, this video was so well done. I think the most impressive thing for me were the details in this. It felt purely 1970s. From the intro video clip to the shirt you wore to your hair to even the background, it was perfectly pitched for me. I thought your sync was tight. I even liked the little bling off your shades in the beginning. Everything was captivating for me. I love the little puppet you had that showed up and you punched in the rhythm to the beats of the song. Genius. This was really well done. This is clearly a 2.
I mean, like, what more can I say about this video than it was just so fucking good? Like, I barely have any constructive critique that I can give you, which is very hard for me because I'm a pessimist and I hate everything. But, like, it was just so fucking good. Like Agent said, it was very 1970s. I was getting, like, a ton of, like, blaxploitation vibes, even though you're white, and that really confused me, but I loved it. I think, like, you fully ran with the funk theme, and not only did you play to your own strengths of, almost campy comedy in a way, which I think is not necessarily what I know La La Chate for, but something I know that you're very good at. But you also brought in not just a concept, but a whole ass time period. And that's really hard to do, and I think that's a big undertaking, but you sold it so fucking well. If I had to give any critique, I would say maybe try to center yourself on the camera more. You were a little bit to the right, and like, this is so nitpicky, but I'm just trying to give you things that you can improve on for next week, just so you have something. That's really it. Since the puppet just came on screen, the puppet was kind of a little bit weird in places. I thought it was cute and funny, but I think it could have been a little bit better done. I don't know what else you could have done to make it better, but again, not much I can critique with this video. Super easy to.
Yeah, everybody hit most of what I was going to say anyway already. I will say that this is like the after-school special they show in Hell. I think that versatility is how you win this competition, and I think that you going girly the first week for auditions, going dark for the first week of the contest, and then now coming up with a comedy aspect, it's really, really good to show us what you can do and to kind of pinpoint where to go as the competition moves forward. I definitely think that the opening credits concept, where this was like the precursor to the film, great idea. Like Agent said, very period. I like that a lot. If I had to give critique, I would say be careful of losing your energy a little bit at the end. It kind of dipped as the song started to kind of fade out. Just kind of keep with it. I know that it's fading, but you can't. And then just make sure that if you're going to have a gag, the puppet popped back up towards the end, and it didn't seem like it needed to, but maybe I just missed something in the storytelling part, so I can't really fault you there either. I really enjoyed this. This was cheesy as hell, and really, really great job. This is a 2.
And up next, we have Robbed Goddess of Week 1. Should not have been in the bottom, but that's not my business. It's Roxas. I liked this video. I didn't love it. It's not my favorite thing that I've ever seen you done. I would even put it on the weaker side of things that I've seen you do. But I thought it was really cute. I thought it was clearly funk. I think the outfit was hilarious. I sort of wish you had more of an applied concept as opposed to you dancing, which I didn't mind, but we kind of got you dancing in week 1, or in auditions, excuse me, and that's, we know you can do it. And I get that it's funk week and like, yeah, funk dancing. I totally get that. But I wanted you to like maybe push yourself a little bit more, especially after, you kind of did have a rough week 1 with you being in the bottom. I think that video and I think this video are going to be a wake-up call for you, and I hope that they are. And I hope that even though I didn't really have much to critique you on for this video, I hope that you do take the critiques that you've been given and you use them to grow and to become the performer that I know you can be and that we all know you can be. And with that, I'm gonna tentatively toot this video. Yeah, okay, I am gonna toot this video, but just barely, because I know how good you are.
I'll start off with the look itself was stellar. This really sold the period. It gave me the vibes that I was looking for Funk Week. You had a great connection to the camera. The lip sync itself was really tight. Where I feel like there needed to be some changes, you give such great personality and sense of humor in your post-credit scenes that I really want more of that to seep into the actual content of the lip sync, because we can't really judge based on the credits. But if that bit about being in the bottom 2, if that had driven your concept, where it's your thing, do what you want to do, and you literally just threw a burger bag or something that nodded to what you had done, it would have had some sort of a through line, because that's really what, like what Blake said, is what was missing here for me, was a concept or something to kind of break up the energy. You had good energy, but it was the same energy the whole way through. And there needed to be some sort of a gimmick or some sort of an idea to kind of boost this a little bit higher than it did. For those reasons, it's a boot for me.
I agree with Mikey. I think you have a lot more energy than you give in your actual video as opposed to the credit scenes, and I would love to see that incorporated as well. I like this video. I also don't think it was your best. I liked what you wore. It definitely was very funky 70s to me. I thought that was cool. And your actual sync was really well done too. That you have your strengths, I think, when you are more relaxed, when you're sitting down, like in last week's video. Even though it was voted low, I don't understand why, because I thought it was a really solid video. And I think you kind of lose yourself a little when you're moving around so much. So give us those slow moments. I think that's okay. I would give this a very safe 2, but you can do better than this.
Next up is the Bad Mama Jamma herself, Trying to Kill Myself. China, I think that you are naturally very charismatic. I think that you aren't super comfortable on camera, and again, that still comes across. I think you were more comfortable last week than this week. But the reason that I think that is, I don't think it's something that you're doing knowingly. It's your eye contact. You kind of don't always look at the camera. You all often look away and then look back. If you're going to look away, thinking about what Tony did, where there was no eye contact to the camera, but it was intentional seeming, this didn't seem very intentional. It just kind of seemed like you were, and talking to you in voice, we knew that, you were looking at yourself as you were going, but try and focus yourself as best you can on the camera, because that's us. And if we don't see you, it doesn't read as if you're having fun. And in moments, it looked like you were more uncomfortable than having fun, and that's really unfortunate. I think that at the guitar solo is where you sold it to me a little bit more. I think that you were really feeling yourself, and that was a great gimmick, a great way to break up a song that's very kind of same. The one thing I will say is when you're lip syncing, be careful, because you switched from lead to backing vocals a couple of times back and forth. Pick one and stick to it. It's just a thing of practicing the song maybe one more time, maybe making one more take and deciding between the two of them. It's a very soft boot for me. I liked this, but I didn't love it.
So Mikey brought up a big point for me, which was how confident you are on camera, and I think this is something that we did talk about in your audition. You were clearly not comfortable on camera, and that's okay. It happens. Like, making lip syncing videos is a big step, and it's not easy, and I think we all know that because we've all been on a season, bar Agent. And it's hard. I think working on getting more comfortable is going to open you up to doing so much more, because as it stands, a lot of your movements kind of end up being the same thing in the past 3 videos, and your face and your emotions, it's very much like Eureka and The Best of My Love, and then it feels like the complete wrong emotion. This isn't a happy video, or a happy song, excuse me, but it's pretty upbeat, and so, like, you could smile. I think working on the facial movements and eye contact will help you a lot, and I think it'll elevate your videos to where they need to be, and I think you can really do that with Out Tonight. I think that's probably the best song for you to do that. So I really, really am looking forward to your Out Tonight video. I think you can do a lot with it. And just really, I would maybe even just lip sync in front of your mirror constantly if you can. Try to get more comfortable watching yourself, and then we will be more comfortable watching you. But with all of that, I do have to boot this video.
I have to echo what they both said. I think a big part of you seeming that you weren't confident is completely because of the eye contact. You kept looking to the left, and it seemed like you were a little insecure. And I don't think you are that way. It's just how it comes across. I will also point out, I didn't understand why on the lower left corner of your screen it said 1998 while you look like somebody straight out of the 80s. So that a little anachronism was a little odd for me. Other than that, it was it was okay, except for the fact that it felt like you didn't have any confidence, and that would lead me to give you a boot as well. But I definitely think if you have straight on eye contact, that won't be an issue for you anymore. And I want to see you have fun because it felt like you weren't having fun making this.
Did you toot or boot it?
I have to give it a boot.
Okay.
And next up is Tony A. Ward, and I have to say, I really love this video. And just speaking about China a moment ago, you have complete confidence in this video, and it really shows. And it's a lot of fun to watch you perform. Your sync was tight. You performed it in a really unexpected way. And I also think that, as Mikey said before about Lala, you are showing a lot of versatility because your first video is not like your second one, and it's definitely not like this. And if you're going to win, you kind of want to look back and show, hey, look at all the different things I could do, and you're doing that already. So it's great to see. I don't have any negative critiques to say about this video because I really thought it was really well done. So props to you, and this is a 2.
I agree. I think that there was a hell of a lot of good things here. You didn't give eye contact to the camera, but that's okay because it was consistent. You were giving yourself eye contact, which worked with how absolutely confident, overconfident even seeming your character was in this. You act very well. I think that's your strength, is finding the character that a song has and really portraying that appropriately. So keep with that. I will say, in terms of a critique, be careful about the riffs in a song. If the artist decides to break from the usual melody or something and do something, you can choose to do it or choose not to, but don't pick and choose which ones you do. Just be more consistent about that. But again, you didn't miss a word. It's just that you chose which path you were going and switched back. So just watch that in the future. But overall, this was easily one of the better videos this week, and it's a total toot for me.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say about this video, Anthony? It's so good. I really did enjoy this video. I compliment you enough, so I'm actually going to give you some constructive critique instead, because I'm too nice to you. 2 things. 1, I get that you were, like, filming in the mirror, and I think that's a cute idea. I wasn't a huge fan of it because of the set dressing, and I'm not one to talk about set dressing, but I don't know, like, the angle at which we see you and, like, the bathroom in the background kind of just felt weird to me. That might just be a personal thing. And the other thing is I've noticed that you do this before, and you didn't do it last week, but it definitely was happening this week. When you are, like, actually lip-syncing the words, I think you're curling your lips in so that it doesn't look like you have any teeth. And I'm the last person to be talking about teeth. But it's kind of off-putting, almost. I don't know if you're doing it consciously or if it's even something that you can help. And if it's not something that you can help, then fucking ignore this. But I would maybe just, like, keep an eye out on that. But other than that, this was such an easy fucking toot. And up next, we have Giraffe's Doris Buckle. And I'm glad that you improved your makeup this week. It definitely did not detract from your sync this week. And I'm really happy that you are taking critique. Beyond that, though, I didn't really like much else about this video. First and foremost, you spelled LSFYL wrong. And you spelled Marcella's name wrong. And that, to me, is inexcusable. I feel like you should probably be spelling those things right, and that's something that you should have noticed. I got your concept. I don't understand how it related to this song necessarily. That was a little bit confusing, and I also really hated the angle that you filmed at, and I feel like this is a problem we had with your audition, and we didn't have it last week as bad, but we're kind of like taking a step back with that again this week. So I just feel like this video had a lot of problems, and I'm disappointed to see that because your audition was so strong. So continue applying critique, and don't just apply like, okay, I got these critiques for the last video, I'll fix them for this video, but not for future videos. Make sure that every critique you get, you're applying to every video that you make. Even if it, like, you don't feel like it's gonna matter in that video, make sure it matters. And with that, I do have to boot this video.
Drafts, I wish you had taken another take with this. My biggest issue was your actual lip sync. It felt like you were waiting for the words and then would sync them. It's almost like you weren't fully aware of all the lyrics of the song yet, and you should have studied the song even harder. I like seeing your improvement. I thought your audition was really good, and I liked your video last week, but this was a step down for you. I like that you had a concept, and it was fine. I wish you would have eaten your concoction, but it was kind of funny how you tossed it over your shoulder. But with that said, the sync was a bit jarring, and I couldn't give you a toot this week because of it, so I'm gonna have to give you a boot.
Everybody's already said everything I intend to say. You made an entrance. I thought that was an interesting way to start. You had my attention. The concept was great, but did not make even an iota of sense for superstition. If anything, you should have been picking things that people did poorly and trying to avoid, rather than ingredients from winners to make a spell or make a dish. The overlay and your sync didn't match up, but this time it wasn't your overlay. Like Agent said, you just seemed really unfamiliar with the lip sync itself. There were noticeable errors, flat out missed words, missed cues. You just needed more practice. And like Blake said, it's okay if, your props, you might not remember or know how to spell someone's name, but pull up the Discord and look at it, because if something in your video hinges on us reading it, it comes off as ill-prepared and just not well done, and this is a poot from me.
And up next is Yanto. Damn, I've seen the other video that you filmed for this week, and in a way, I wish you would use that video, not because you're shirtless in it, which was a great perk, but because I feel like it was not only a better representation of you as a performer, I think it was a better representation of funk. I think Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but like a cover of it in a vaguely funk kind of style, is a complete cop-out for Funk Week. I know this is totally not something that you would be ever lip-syncing to given the choice, but part of themes is applying to yourself and your style to the theme. And yeah, you can do that in a successful way by doing the theme. Like, look at what Gissy did. She is not a dancer, she's not comfortable doing funk, but she made it funny. And it worked. And that's not to say that I disliked this video, because I did like it. But to me, this just didn't work. And I know that you got 2 of Hearts for your Hat Week video, which I genuinely have no idea what you're going to do for that, but I know how good of a performer you are, just from the 3 videos, 4, I guess, that I've seen. I know how good you are, and this was not what I know you to do. And so I am going to have to boot this video, but it's not a boot because I hate it. It's a boot because I know you're better than this.
I'll start off with, I liked the homage to The Wizard of Oz that you started with, black and white into color. I thought that was really smart. It's one of my favorite movies, so you got me with that. That really well-timed butterfly, it was like Asia O'Hara's worst nightmare, because it worked for you and it didn't for her. The song choice was my big hurdle with this, because it's kind of a jazz song. Yes, jazz and funk are related. So I think it's just maybe kind of working on song choice and maybe going with things that are. I think it's an improvement over last week because I don't think there was much of a connection. You had more of a connection this week, but I will say just kind of try and get a little closer to the theme if you can when you get to choose your song again, because this was a little out there, and you're not the only one. There was somebody else whose song choice was kind of maybe sort of not totally funk, but that didn't really kill it for me. I think that you looked like you were having a great time, which is an improvement over last week. Like, you didn't look like you were having fun last week, and you do this week, so that's easily an improvement for me, and this is a 2.
Yanto, I like this video. I could see Blake's argument and Mikey's argument about this not really being funk, but it was funk enough for me. It was like just barely crossing the line for me. What I really liked about it, it was an improvement over last week, and you did feel more connected, and it wasn't like anything you've done yet in this competition, so I was really glad to see that. This wasn't the best video of the week, and it certainly wasn't the worst. I felt like this was a pretty safe admission into this week's competition, and that's okay. So I'm going to give this a toot. I don't think I can boot this because there was nothing technically wrong with it at all, and it was good to see you more connected. Next week is a song from a hat, so you don't have to worry about that. And when you received the song, you felt very relieved about that. So I do think your song choice is probably your biggest obstacle in this competition. So going forward past next week, make sure you explore more song choices, and I think that'll serve you better during the whole all of season 6.
And next we have Lady Marmalade, Asphyxia. Jacob, I really enjoy you. I think that you are charismatic and you draw attention to yourself on camera very well. I think that you had great energy. The lip sync was good. Your look made sense for the song. I mean, no disrespect when I say you looked like a hooker. The problems that I had with your video were that your set dressing didn't add anything to it, just kind of in your foyer. If you had like gone out the door at the end, like you were going to go street walk or open the door and somebody came in, I would have been with you, but it just didn't kind of make a whole lot of sense why you were there. It's kind of like Chekhov's gun, that if there's a gun on the wall, it better be fired by the end of the video. When I say that your video was very drag, I don't mean disrespect by that, but what I mean is that drag queens on stage often just kind of move because people are drawn to shiny, pretty things that glitter in light. But on videos like this, move with a purpose. If you're going to reach for something, it better be because something in that song tells you to, rather than just moving because you hadn't moved in a little while. So I think you need to watch that aspect of it. But my biggest issue with your video was your song choice. Lady Marmalade is a disco song. Lady Marmalade is a pop song. Lady Marmalade, to me, is not really a funk song. I like that you were kind of trying to go out of the box and kind of fit yourself into what Asphyxia would view as funk, but it didn't translate very well for the theme. I think that you have a good song next week. I'm excited to see what you do, but this is a boot for me.
Asphyxia. I think my biggest issue with this, well, one of them was you moved your head around a lot, so it wasn't consistent to see your lip sync, which was an issue for me last week as well. So I would love to see just a straight on, completely see your face kind of lip sync from you. Also, I think your energy was very mismatched with this song. There were times where it felt very frenetic when the song isn't necessarily frenetic or that hype. So you could have, I don't know, it felt like there was maybe a disconnect regarding that. I liked your hair, but again, I think your hair at times also covered your face, and we missed some words that way as well. I have to agree with Mikey. I think if you had more ideas to connecting the concept to the actual song, that you were a lady of the night and you had whatever it was, like condoms or anything alluding to that, it would have helped your video better. but as it is, I'm also going to have to give it a boot.
So Mikey and Agent hit most of the things that I was going to critique you on. So I want to address you as a performer in the competition as a whole. We know you're a drag queen, and we know that you can dance. This is not a secret. After your audition, I was so excited because I really thought she's breaking out of the mold of what she is, kind of perceived as just a dancing drag queen. And the past 2 weeks, you've just gone back into that. Like, you're just a dancing drag queen. And I don't know if that's you trying to fit the mold of what you think a winner of the competition is. I hope it's not. But the fact that the first 4 winners, bar door, were drag queens is not indicative of who we vote for. And, Door and Shady are not drag queens, and they won. And I hope that we continue to expand, our winner circle and have a non-drag queen winner. And that's not to say that I don't want you to win. That's to say you should tackle this competition as both Asphyxia and as Jacob doing what you want to do. You don't have to be a drag queen to win this. If you film a video out of drag, look at Tony. She did it so successfully. You can do it. I want to see more of your audition. I want to see more of that, Jacob. Because I loved that, Jacob. I loved that video. I don't love this video. I'm going to poot this video. Because it wasn't funk. Plain and simple. So I hope that you take these critiques, and if you want to talk about them more with me, I'm more than happy to do that, because I know what I said might not be terribly clear. I'm more than happy to talk about this with you, because I want to help you succeed in this competition. And up next, our resident drag king, allegedly, Jack Knife. I fucking love this video, dude. We did talk about this video, and you know how much I love it. And I loved your concept of you going from, like, this cute, like, little woman into whatever you went into, and then, into your jackknife persona. I love this evolution of almost the extremes of gender that you went with. And I didn't fully understand it in relation to your song, but I didn't really mind, because I was just having so much fun watching this. I thought this video was so much fun. I don't have a lot of constructive critique for this, and I wish I did, and I know that Agent and Mikey can actually, help you with what to improve on. For me, all I need to say to you is that I think you're fucking killing this competition. I think you're a front runner, and I think you're a dark horse. Black horse? I did this already once. Which one is it?
Dark horse, Jocelyn.
Thank you. Damn, I'm never gonna get it. And I think you were the person I called a dark horse too. But people need to look out for you. Plain and simple. And I don't think they are. So, other contestants, watch the fuck out. This is an easy toot.
Jack, I was really impressed with this video because it was a surprise for me. I didn't expect to see you with paper cutout hair and with the very cute, like, hairspray-esque kind of femininity you were showing in the beginning. And your song choice, I think, was really solid too. I didn't expect to hear David Bowie this week, and I'm glad I did. I liked the concept of this video. I like how you transformed from that into your Jackknife character, and it worked for me. There were maybe a few discrepancies in your concept, like with the knife, that I may not understand, but maybe if you tell me about it, I will definitely get it a little better. With that said, I really like your performance. I really liked your sync. You were dead on with that, and you're really good. So this is definitely a 2.
All right, so I'm going to start this out the way I start out every single one of your critiques, Jack, with a shitpost. Hi, it's me, Dickie Blonsky from the movie Hairspray.
God.
I really, again, kind of like we said with Lala and with Tony, versatility is the name of the game when it comes to winning lip sync for your life, and you have that completely. This was, like Agent said, completely unexpected with the song choice, completely unexpected with the concept. Yes, the knife was weird, didn't make sense. Again, maybe requires an explanation. The moment that stood out to me was the run for the shadows where you held up the eyeshadow palette. I just love how corny that is because it's something I would do, and I really enjoyed that. The concept was great. The way that you lip synced the whistling in the song, chills. Like, that was fucking fantastic. You are just amazing, and this is a complete 2.
And now we have Boy Named Queen. And I want to tell you, this was probably my favorite video of the week due to your performance. Your strength is not only your flawless lip sync, and not only your ability to emote with your face very well, it's just your characterization during the sync. So while I was watching it the first half, it was a tight sync, and I thought it was really fun, geeky dancing. And about the midway point, I thought it might get a little repetitive, but I still really enjoyed it. And suddenly in the second half, you were responding to loud sounds. You were recovering from it in a really funny way. And you just sold me on the whole thing. I love this video so much. I cannot critique you because there was nothing to critique here. This is a shoot for me.
I also, I thought this video was so damn fun. You are clearly this tiny little white boy. You have no business doing funk, and that did not stop you. God, I sound like a fucking Southern grandmother. Yeah, and I mean, like, it was such a fun fucking video. You responded to the theme of funk in a way that you went, no holding back, I'm gonna nerd the fuck out. And you did it, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, there was not a point in this video that I wasn't smiling. And I think that's a really, really hard thing to do. I also don't really have anything to critique you on. Maybe be conscious of the outfit that you're wearing, because it was vaguely kind of like funk era-ish, and that it was, no offense, but that sweatshirt is tacky as shit. Yeah, no, I mean, that's really the only thing that I can say about it. I really liked this video. Ooh.
I want to argue that point with the shirt. It felt very 80s to me, which was perfect because the song came out in the 80s.
Yeah, the song was 1986, so it fit. Color blocking was big.
Okay, well, I'm showing my age because they're like 50 and I'm 12.
I mean, China doesn't believe that I'm my age, so there's that. Yeah, this was so fucking good. BNQ, you're just the biggest fucking geek, and I get such a kick out of it because it's so... Everything you do is so in character. I think, as of right now, you have the tightest lip sync in this competition, and you continue to pick songs that showcase that. You are so white, and the white boy doing funk, the way that you did this to be corny and cheesy and all of that was just so perfect. And the song choice for you was stellar. Like Agent said, the yelling moments scaring you and you having to recover from that, just comedy gold. And I'm with Agent on this. It's a shoot.
I'm tooting this video because I realized I forgot to say that.
And next is Jenna with Come Get It Bae. I am so proud of you for having a concept and for giving me more than just choreography. I will say that I wish that your concept had kind of continued a little bit more before you got up and moved. I enjoy your movement. I think that that is a strength for you and continue to play to it. But I really enjoyed how we got to see how tight your lip sync is too, in addition to how great you move. Perfect energy for the song. Great lip sync. It's a 2.
Jenna, I have to say, I think I was most scared for you with this week because I didn't know if you were going to be able to bring a solid funk video with the videos you've shown already, but you proved me wrong. You were really good with this performance. And I think your strength among all the other things like your syncing and movement was your song choice. This was a song that you knew you could rock and you did it. And what I also like about your videos that I've noticed is there are a lot of times where you move further back and you show your whole body when you're dancing, but you also move forward to show your lip sync. And I think that's very important in videos like this. And I have to commend you for that as well. This was good. I would like, going forward, I would like to see more versatility in your performances because I feel like the way you moved in this one was the same as last one, as the same as the week before. And I'm not bored with it. I would just like to see what else you have, like maybe a slow song at some point. But I think you're aware of that already. But this was a toot. You should really be proud of yourself. I thought this was very good.
In defense of Jenna, and in response to Agent, she mentioned in her description, which she doesn't think anybody reads, but I do, that she wanted to do something that was not dancing because she knows that that's the critique that she's been getting, but she felt like she couldn't do that for Funk Week, and she felt like she would excel doing a song like this for Funk Week. So, I understand why you chose this song. I love that you are taking critique, and that you're acknowledging that you're taking critique even when you're not necessarily applying it. That's fucking huge! Like, as long as we know you're hearing us, we're happy. And when you can apply it, we're happy. Mikey's point about the concept becoming clearer throughout the whole sync, I definitely agree with. I think your lighting was kind of weird this week. I don't know where your lighting was coming from, but it was like a spotlight hitting the back wall, and occasionally you were drenched in shadow, and occasionally you were not drenched in shadow. And while that created some pretty cool shapes in the background, it kind of felt weird to me, so I would be careful of that. And yeah, I really like this video. I think you, too, are somebody that's kind of a dark horse. And I think you could really go far in this competition when nobody is expecting that. I think there are people that are clearly doing well, like Andrea and Tony. And I think there are people like you who are kind of sitting quietly in the back, kicking ass. And when you come up in the top 3, I'm not going to be surprised. And I don't think you will be either. But I can't wait for you to surprise everybody else. If you ever make a joke about eating pussy in a video again, I will kill you in your sleep. And this is a toot. And up next is Andrea, and I'm your local Standria. My god, am I in love with you. I would lay down and die for you right now. You were the biggest fucking surprise in this competition. Like, a woman of age, and that age is 25, is not somebody that we have ever had in this competition. So you're breaking barriers. And I know that Ariel's probably up there. But you are so unique, and you're so you. And you bring such an interesting, not only perspective to the Discord, but a perspective to your videos. They're always very high concept. And they're always really, really, really fun. And this is no fucking exception. I love this video. I think I knew that you would do well with funk, but I didn't know if you had, the moves to back it up. But sis, you danced your ass off. You outdanced me. You would send me home in a lip sync for your life to this song. No question about it. Oh, God, I'm so obsessed with you. I'm so obsessed with this video. I am so proud of you. I wish I had actual critique for you, but I don't. I love you. This is a shoot.
I think out of everybody, Andrea, your music taste is the most refined in the sense that no matter what the theme is, you can sit back, think for a minute, and go, I got it. I know exactly what I'm going to do for this. You also have picked my favorite songs every week, I think, in terms of what the theme is calling for. I think that you are really, really consistent about that, and I think that's a strength. Overall, this video was really excellent. You were a 10 out of 10 with energy. The sync itself was an A+. Your movement, you gave me vibes. This was perfect, frankly, and it's a shoot.
Andrea, I clearly loved this video as well. What I really liked about it is your background was clean. I love the moment with your glasses, the oversized ones, and you took them off and you had another pair under it. Those little details go a long way in these kind of videos, and I love that. Your sync was flawless, and you have improved, I think, the most in this competition already, especially since your audition video, and it is wonderful to see. And I also have to say, you clearly were having fun making this video, which makes the audience love it even more. And this was a shoot. I thought it was really well done. So you clearly should be proud of yourself.
And next we have our favorite television spokesperson, Jules. The concept itself for this video, I'm dead. I'm still recovering from your song choice and exactly what you chose to do with it. The lip sync, as usual, spot on. You are very consistent about that and keep doing that. I like, again, going back to things that we've said this whole week is kind of like versatility is the theme coming back. And you gave us something very serious for your audition. You gave us something kind of fun and outdoors for your first week. And then this week, going straight up campy comedy, I think was the right move. You're showing us exactly why people should not underestimate you, though I think that many are. My one critique is that the reveal of what you were doing could have waited slightly. You gave away your entire kind of gimmick early on in the video. If you had just kind of given it to us just the song and had us be like, I don't know what he's doing, talking to us about stroking, and then, oh, wait a minute, he's selling us something. Holy shit, I love that. If you had just held off on the reveal of the DVD a little bit, it would have given a greater buy-in for your audience. So just keep that in mind if you go for a comedy route. Just hold off on the bit a tiny bit until you get a setup. So aside from that, it's a complete toot for me.
Jules, I really like this video. I didn't know what to expect from you either, but this was an improvement from last week. I thought your sync was on point. The song was a little long, but I wasn't bored at all during it, and that is a testament to how well you performed it. I really don't have a critique for you because this was pretty solid. I kind of agree with Mikey that maybe the reveal could have been held off a little, but honestly, I didn't mind that at all. I thought this was a great concept, probably my favorite concept other than Ava's this week, and you sold it well, so clearly a toot for me too.
So this absolutely was my favorite concept of the week. I think it was so smart and so funny. I am going to disagree with Mikey in a way, and also agree with him in a way, about how early you reveal the concept. I think for this, it worked, but when you opened the DVD and the condoms fell out, I kind of did a double take. I was like, wait, what are those? And I had to think about it. I don't know if that's something that you can really control, how fast condoms fall out of a DVD case. That was such a terrible sentence for me to say. But I would think about that or something like that in future videos, in small little gags like that, how that's going to come across. This was by and far your best video so far. Like, it was really, really, really good. I think your energy was great. I think your sync was really tight. I think the concept was funny. I think the location was correct. I think the lighting was correct. I think everything was very correct. Total 2. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and now let's get to my personal favorite part, our top toots of the week. And for me personally, I'm going to continue my trend of my top toot being Andrea. I just fucking loved this video. It was so much fun. And I'm so excited to see your video every week now. Because, you know, coming off your audition, obviously you made a huge impact in the Discord just with how personable and funny you are. But I was really hoping that you would be able to sell that in your lip syncs. And I just didn't know because your audition wasn't overlaid and it was just a very straight sync with you sitting down. And so when you walk out in this full-ass robot costume in week 1, I was shook to my core, and you are not letting up. And I think that's fucking amazing. I am just so proud of you. I cannot wait to see what you keep doing.
My top 2 of the week is Boy Named Queen. I think that this was the tightest lip sync not only of the week, but I think in terms of competition, you are the tightest lip syncer. The funk vibes and humor really brought it for me this week, and I thought that this was the best video this week.
My top 2 of the week is also Boy Named Queen. You made a video that made me so happy. I laughed so much with it, and the sync was flawless. It was impeccable. And not only that, you made it look easy, and I think that's a really great trait to have in your video. So you killed it for me. You were the best.
And with that, another lip sync video review comes to a close, this time not on a Friday. Thank you all so much for watching. As with every video, if you have any problems with anything that we said, feel free to approach us. We are glad to talk about it and comfort you because you're a baby. No, really. If there's anything that we said that you feel was wrong, or feel slighted by, or want more clarification on, as you all know, we are more than happy to talk about it with you all. I got nothing else. Agent, Mikey, anything you would like to say?
I would like to say thank you for having me on, and great job, everybody in Season 6. I know this isn't easy, and year after year, everybody just makes great videos, and all of you, there's no exception here. You have been great, and keep on trucking.
Even if we didn't respond well to your video, that doesn't mean that it was a bad video or that you deserve to go home or should leave the community completely. Please don't say fuck your person, leave. We really do want the best for you, and we want to kind of make you better. And if you get eliminated, show us in the carry-ons or show us on off season what you really can do when you're not limited to what you're given as concepts here. So that's that.
And as an aside, I'm not editing any of you out of any future videos, so get the fuck over it. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another guest judge who we haven't decided yet, and I'm going to relive my horror of being eliminated on Hat Week. Bye, guys.